Good evening and welcome back to Sense of Science. So in the previous video for states of matter, gaseous state, we had discussed the Boyle's law, which was the pressure volume relationship. We now move into the Charles law. The Charles law is temperature volume relationship, which means that I will be establishing a proportionality between temperature and volume, and I will be keeping the other two parameters, which is its pressure and moles, constant. Okay, so that's what we have done in the statement as well. So at constant pressure, the first part, for n moles, that means a fixed amount of gas, volume of the gas is directly proportional to its temperature. Okay, so volume will be directly proportional to the temperature, more will be the temperature, more will be the rise in volume. That's what the statement means. So mathematically, if I write at constant pressure, that means P, for n moles of a gas, that means a fixed amount of gas, the temperature of the gas is directly proportional to the volume. So V is directly proportional to T is my expression. Okay. To remove proportionality, we always add a constant. So V is equal to KT is what I get. Now if I want to write the expression for the constant, I will transpose T to the side of V, the left hand side, and I can write this expression rearranging it as V by T is equal to the constant. Okay, this is your expression for Charles law. This is your expression for Charles law. There is one thing now which you have to understand from this expression. If I say V by T is a constant, that means whenever I will divide volume by temperature, it will always be a constant at all cases. Okay, so just take a screenshot of this. And now let's move to the next slide. So that means if I write that V by T is equal to a constant, I am actually meaning that if I have two cases, suppose at a particular pressure or at another pressure, I have volume 1 upon temperature 1, it will always be equal to volume 2 upon temperature 2, which will be always a constant value. Individually, volume and temperature can change, but dividing them in all cases will be for the same gas at a constant pressure and fixed number of moles. Always a dividing of the volume and temperature will be constant. Individually they may change, so this may change, but this will always be a constant, is what the Charles law states. Alright, that's your mathematical expression. The value of this constant depends on all parameters of a gas. Okay, so this was your Charles law. Now coming on to the graph of the Charles law. Now graph of the Charles law is called isobar. Now iso means constant, as I had discussed in my previous video also. This is constant, and bar is a unit of pressure. That means this is happening at constant pressure. That's what the statement states also. It is happening in the constant pressure. That's my Charles law. Alright. Now if I plot the graph for temperature versus volume, let me put the volume on the y-axis and temperature on the x-axis. So this is my graph I am drawing. So this is my volume on the y-axis. It is measured in decimeter cube for me, and I have a temperature as well, okay, which is measured in degree Celsius. Okay, alright. Now temperature and volume are directly proportional, so I will draw this graph as a directly proportional straight line. Okay, but there is a mistake here. The big mistake is when we are drawing the graph for Charles law, we have to write the temperatures as well. Why am I doing that? You will understand. So this graph is not accepted. What I will do actually is I will start this graph from a temperature which is called minus 273.15 Celsius. If I draw this in the Kelvin scale, this will be 0 Kelvin. Okay. Then I will move on to maybe minus 100 Celsius, 0 degree Celsius, 50 degrees Celsius, and so on. But including this minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, which is actually your nothing but your 0 Kelvin. So if you plot this graph in the Kelvin scale, you will get a 0 Kelvin, is most important. Now when I will draw this graph for V versus T, I will definitely get a straight line, but I will get a dotted straight line from a particular point. So just see how it is plotted. I'll use a different color. Okay, the graph I will get is somewhat like this. Okay, The straight line is there which is indicating direct proportionality, but there is this part which is most stunning, that why is this line here dotted? The reason is that when I talk about gases at 0 Kelvin or near to 0 Kelvin, so when the temperature approaches 0 Kelvin, there is no gas existing. All the gas actually turns into a liquid. There is no gas which actually exists at 0 Kelvin. All the gas turns into the liquid. The gas liquefies before that, and that's why we have a dotted line indicating that gases won't exist. Okay, so hence what I can conclude is 0 Kelvin is called your absolute zero. This is the name of the temperature, absolute zero, where there is no gas existing because all the gas has turned into liquid before entering this temperature. Okay, and this is the point, 0 Kelvin is the point where the graph meets the x-axis. So graph will meet the x-axis at the 0 Kelvin, and it will be a dotted line like this. Okay, so absolute zero is an important topic. It is asked as a 1 or a 2 marker in the paper as well. So please take a screenshot and we revert back to the graph. So you can see this graph now. It is clearly showing a direct proportionality of a straight line, and also explaining that why gases won't exist at the absolute zero. Now in the books, the graphs always comprise of 3-4 lines. Now 3-4 lines means it is comparing 3-4 gases at different pressures. Some gas at some pressure, some gas at another pressure. But this is the standard line. Suppose I draw another gas which is at P2, which is higher than P1. So I will just modify this graph like this. I have another gas P2 which is higher than P1. Okay, so that depends on how many number of gases you are drawing, but the main line is this only. Okay, this is your main line. Alright, on the basis of this, now you can draw multiple lines for the graph of the Charles law. Alright, now the next topic for the Charles law is very important. It is for how much per degree rise in temperature, how much is the volume increasing. Now this relationship is important, and this is also called the Charles formula sometimes. So we come to this Charles formula. The formula is, the statement for this is, for per degree rise in temperature, that means 1 degree rise in temperature, the volume will increase, V increases by 1 by 273.15 of V naught. V naught may be your original volume. So what am I stating actually? For per degree rise in temperature, the volume is increasing by 1 by 273.15 of the original volume of the gas when the temperature was 0 degree. Original volume means at T is equal to 0. This is the basic thing. Now from this we can derive a formula as well, and let's move on to the derivation of the formula. Please take a note of this so that we can start the derivation. The formula is, suppose the volume at a temperature T is Vt. So Vt at a temperature T is given by initial volume plus the rise which has come to that volume. Initial volume will be there plus the rise. And what is the rise? Just we have discussed, 1 by 273.15 of the initial volume. Okay. This is very simple. Vt is the volume at temperature T, will be equal to the, of course, the original volume will be there plus the rise per degree Celsius, because the temperature has risen from T0 to Tt. Okay. Now if I take V0 common, V0 means at temperature 0. So Vt becomes, if I take V0 common, and I will get here as 1 plus T by 273.15. Sorry, this is T by 273.15 is I get. And on taking the LCM for this, the simpler formula becomes as Vt is equal to V0 plus 273.15 plus T by 273.15. Okay, and what is Vt? Volume at temperature T. At any temperature T, volume at temperature T is the initial volume multiplied by this factor, and this factor is your rise in the volume. This factor is the rise in the volume at that temperature, and this gives me my Charles law. Okay. So the statement was that for per degree rise in temperature, the volume increases by 1 by 273.15 of the original volume, and this, by the expression I can show that this volume the volume at any temperature T is equal to the original volume at temperature 0 plus this factor which is the rise in volume till that temperature in accordance to the Charles law. Okay. Now before concluding the class, the NCERT also gives the explanation of Kelvin scale of temperature before in the Charles law, and we all should know by class 9 only that Kelvin scale, Kelvin denoted by temperature of Kelvin, is basically Celsius plus 273.15 is the formula for Kelvin scale, is your temperature at Kelvin. And Kelvin scale of temperature is actually used as a standard scale for all numericals in chemistry as well. So it is also called the standard or the thermodynamic scale of temperature. Anything to do with heat is called thermodynamic. So Kelvin is a temperature which is a factor of heat, measurement of heat, and hence this scale of measuring the temperature is also called the thermodynamic scale of temperature, and it is used in numericals as well. So this was about the Charles law with which we end the class. Thank you.